Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I'm Sen, I'm a 4th year medical student, and as you can see in the title, in today's video we're going to discuss whether you should do the Ucat or the BMAT or both of the exams. Now the decision you make will be important because it'll affect which medical schools you can apply, but also how much revision you must do in the end. Now let's firstly go through the reasons for why you should possibly only do the Ucat. For those of you who don't know but should do, the Ucat stands for the University Clinical Admissions Test. So the benefits of just doing the Ucat is that it's simply one admissions exam that you have to worry about if you're applying to med school. Doing this one exam will allow you to apply to the majority of UK medical schools, around 27 to 29 out of 30-something medical schools in the UK. So that means your 4 possible medical school choices will be all filled up by just doing one exam. Next up is the fact that just doing the Ucat means you only have to commit the summer to revising for admissions tests. If you choose to do the BMAT as well, you'd have to spend some time both now, but more time in September and October to revise to do well in the BMAT. The absence of the BMAT will mean that you can spend more time revising for your school subjects, but also preparing for interviews that you'll have for medical schools. The important thing to consider about the Ucat is that you get your results practically as soon as you finish your exams. This means you can use your Ucat score to choose which medical schools to apply to. This is unlike the BMAT, whereby you choose medical schools, and then once your Ucat application to medical schools is sent off, only a month after do you actually do the BMAT, and you don't find your score out until much later on in the application process. Lastly, the reason for just doing the Ucat if you apply to med school is simply if you're not a fan of revising your GCSE sciences again, but also if you don't want to write essays. The format of the Ucat involves multiple choice questions that are on things you can pick up over a few weeks, such as, doing a bit of maths or spotting patterns or making a few judgments in certain situations. The BMAT is very different. Although 2 sections are multiple choice, you have to actually learn and revise some content from your GCSEs. And for those of you who may not have done physics since GCSE, but also found GCSE physics very hard, then possibly revising for the BMAT, particularly section 2, might not be a cup of tea. If you're not a fan of writing essays, well, the BMAT contains an essay, so maybe the BMAT isn't for you. Next up, let's look at the reasons for why you should do the BMAT. You should know the BMAT stands for the Biomedical Admissions Test. And the BMAT allows you to apply to 2 London universities, Imperial College London and University College London, UCL, but also Oxford, Cambridge, Brighton and Sussex Medical School, but also Lancaster Medical School. So doing the BMAT will allow you to apply to an extra 6 medical schools, arguably some of the best medical schools in the United Kingdom. If, like me, you weren't too keen about the actual Ucat exam itself, the question types, but also the format of the exam, then you might actually be more comfortable in the BMAT, and possibly you might even do better in the BMAT than you did in the Ucat. In my case, I was much more comfortable with the BMAT exam than the Ucat, and I think this was visible in my scores, whereby in the Ucat, arguably, I underperformed, and in the BMAT, I did well, as I wished to have done. Since the BMAT is different, it might be easier for you to do than the Ucat. So now let's look at why you do both the Ucat and the BMAT, which is the ideal situation. So doing both will allow you to apply to all the medical schools in the United Kingdom. Now more importantly, doing both exams allows you to spread your bets. If you do both Ucat and the BMAT, then you can apply to, let's say, 2 Ucat universities and 2 BMAT universities. And this means that if your BMAT doesn't go too well and you've done the Ucat, then you've still got 2 pretty good medical schools that use the Ucat. I myself use a similar tactic, where I applied to 2 BMAT universities, Cambridge and UCL, 1 Ucat university, King's College London, which was informed by my Ucat score, and then lastly I applied to Bristol, which back in my day didn't require an admissions test. Now just as a disclaimer, although I chose Bristol because it required no admissions test, I actually didn't even get an interview from Bristol. So in hindsight, I kind of wished that I'd chosen a medical school that may have used the Ucat, because my score was still around in the top 10%, which meant that I may have got a 4th medical offer as opposed to a straight rejection. So just coming to the last reason as to why you do both exams, the Ucat and the BMAT, is frankly because it's not even too hard doing both. If you revise wisely for the Ucat during the summer, and then for the BMAT gradually intensifying in September and October, then doing both exams is quite manageable. So hopefully this video has given you some insight as to whether you should do just a Ucat, just a BMAT, or both. Now I know many people who've just chosen Ucat universities and have gotten many good offers. However, there are far fewer people who just do the BMAT because, once again, BMAT scores come out quite late. And so if you do apply to all 4 BMAT universities and your BMAT score isn't too good and the cutoff points are very high from those BMAT universities, then you won't get any offers at all. Whereas with the Ucat, because you get your score, you can apply tactically to medical schools that don't require as high Ucat scores, thus improving your chances of at least getting some medical school offers. And lastly, we discussed why you should do both, and how it's quite manageable if you just simply decide to focus a bit and use your head. Do comment if you have any questions. Do like this video if it has informed you in some way to make a better decision about which exam you do. And if you really enjoyed it, then please do subscribe. It really helps me out. Last but not least, if you don't follow me on Instagram or Twitter, my tags are on screen now, and that's a much better way of getting in contact with me, but also following what I'm up to day to day. So as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys soon in the next video. Bye bye.